Hello, mates.
Hello, mates.
How's it going?
How are you? I'm okay.
You caught me off guard.
How are you, Laura?
I am fine. We've just done our honeymoon itinerary.
We have. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, we're hoping to go see the Winchester House.
Hopefully, if everything works out okay.
Yeah, because they wouldn't let you just pick a day. They wanted you to pick a time.
You have to book on a specific time.
And that was really irritating.
But we are going to see the Queen Mary.
We are going to see the Queen Mary.
Which would be cool.
What else are we going to see? The Cullico Ghost Town.
Yep, we're going to there.
Alcatraz. What else?
That's all really spooky things, I guess.
Yeah, and then we're kind of doing the
like tourist stuff.
Yeah, like the honeymoon sign.
Yeah, the honeymoon sign. Hollywood sign.
The Hollywood sign.
The Griffith Observatory. We're going into Yosemite anyway.
Yeah, we'll spend a couple of days there.
Yeah. Not getting bitten by rattlesnakes.
That's a genuine terror.
You see, I think it'll be the wrong time of year for them, to be honest.
They'll be hibernating.
They'll be hibernating.
I don't think... you still got bears and shit.
Bears will be hibernating too.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be something that wants to kill us out there.
It's not Australia. Not everything wants to kill us in America.
Well, what have we got here? Nothing. Nothing wants to kill us here apart
Badgers.
From angry wasps. Badgers won't kill you.
Badgers will fuck you up.
No, stop being so dramatic.
You've got badgers and hornets. Badgers will fuck you up. So will hornets.
Hornets don't exist here.
Hornets do exist here. I've seen one.
That was just probably like a queen wasp or some shit.
What kind of wasp have you seen that's over an inch long?
I have seen a big wasp.
Alright, 2 inches long then.
It can't just grow an inch just because you're getting
I can't remember
wrong.
how big it was. I don't work in stonky inches. I don't know how long it is. It was long. Like 3 centimetres long.
That's like less than an inch.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. An inch is 2.5 centimetres.
Okay, so just over an inch.
It wasn't a wasp. It was a hornet. I'm telling you, it was a hornet.
We've been having this argument for months now.
Years, really. Nearly a year we've been having this argument.
No, because you found it in summer.
Summer last year?
No, summer this year.
No, it was summer last year.
It was summer this year.
It was summer last year.
Oh my god, you're so irritating.
It was summer last year. It was on the work van. It was a fucking hornet. Hornets are a thing. Adders are a thing here. Badgers are a thing.
Adders won't kill you.
Adders will poison you, though.
They're not poisonous.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
It's venomous, but it has no danger to humans.
Unless you're allergic. Like, bees sting you, but have no danger to humans unless you're allergic.
Oh my god. Can't believe we're fucking arguing about this.
And cows will fuck you up.
Yeah, cows will fuck you up.
Cows will fuck you up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we both know that.
Yeah. They will charge at you.
Yeah.
They will mow you down.
They will. I was in hospital with a guy who got mowed down by a cow. His entire leg had a scaffolding on it.
Fair.
Like, it destroyed his leg.
Fair.
So, cows will fuck you up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Now that we've stopped talking about things that'll kill us, do you want to share what you found, again, while editing the Halloween special?
Right, okay. So, the Halloween special, we found a couple of weird audio anomalies in the editing. Now,
we're not sure how we're going to lay it out, because we basically recorded the whole thing, start to finish, intro, outro, boom, shebang. Now, during the outro, when I was kind of closing the episode, that's when all the shit started hitting the fan.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how we're gonna lay that out. We'll probably figure that out.
I think we can maybe record a little statement and I'll just squeeze it in before the unedited audio. I said footage then.
What else did you find?
I found a disembodied voice kind of going at me when I was recording.
Exactly like that, actually.
It was a lot like that, but it didn't register on the Audacity.
No.
When I actually found it.
No.
So. And
we heard it again when all the shit started going down.
We did, yes.
Yeah.
So. Woo!
So, yeah. That's all to look forward to next week.
Yeah. So I can say that the audio at the end of the Halloween special is totally unedited. Completely unedited.
Yeah.
So that's the microphone was still recording as everything happened.
As everything was kind of going down. It'll be released on Halloween.
Yeah.
Morning for us.
Yeah.
But probably...
I don't even know. I don't know how the time zones work.
No, we'll release it Halloween morning.
Yeah.
So y'all
can
listen to it at night.
Yeah. I think that's how it works.
Unless they're in Australia.
And then they're in...
No, they still might catch it at night.
I don't know. Everyone should use Greenwich Mean Time. It's easier.
For you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else has been going on?
Wedding is in less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks now?
Less than 2 weeks. 13 days.
13 days.
How are you feeling?
Nervous. We wrote our vows and shit.
Yeah. Wrote some bomb vows.
Yeah. Fucking table plans ready to go. We're naming our tables after haunted places. Because that's what we do.
Because that's what you do.
You wanted it as well.
Yeah, I did. So there's that. We're nearly ready, I'd say. A couple more little things to do.
Yeah, and if people would stop dropping out, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
So we are nearly ready.
Yeah, and then we head to America on the 4th.
We do. Exciting times. Well, no, we head to London first, and then go to America.
Still on the 4th.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
Do you want to do your know that actually happened?
I do. I'll do that. Okay. My know that actually happened. The headline is, it's from the Daily Star, so it's even less trustworthy than last week's.
What was last week's?
Last week's was the Mirror, I think.
No, it was the Daily Express.
Oh, it was the Express, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's probably about on par of trustworthiness. And the headline is, Haunted World War II doll blinks on its own before spooky CCTV. No, I've read that wrong. Haunted World War II doll blinks on its own in spooky CCTV before jaw opens and closes.
We watched this video.
We did.
It's fucked up.
I didn't like a single part of it.
No.
I feel personally victimised because it's a doll. So the story is that Mr. Fritz, of course it is, the creepy looking doll was made by a prisoner at a German World War II camp. And it was given to a Michael Diamond earlier this year, and he's noticed that the doll's glass cage kept opening itself up. So he set up a GoPro to film it, and the footage he catches is the case actually opening, and then the mouth starts opening and closing, and then its eyes start opening and closing, and it's just not very nice, if I'm honest.
No, the link will be in the show notes, but so you can go watch it. But it's super creepy. Like the glass opens.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of hard to see him blinking, but you can definitely
see the mouth opening.
Yeah. That should be part of the headline. I can't really see it blinking if I'm honest, but the mouth is definitely moving.
It's not nice, if I'm honest. He keeps it where what he calls his freak room, where all he has collectible things. So he says there's no open windows, no airflow, the door's on a latch. To stop it happening, he says he's covered it in a blanket. He's chained the box up and covered it in a blanket.
Okay.
So there's that creepy ass haunted Nazi doll, and I am here for none of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
No, it's not very nice. None of it is very nice.
No, this episode is very nice.
No, I feel victimised by the entire thing, to be honest. I wanted to do another thing, and you steamrolled me, so...
I did not! Stop making me sound like a fucking Hitler! That's what you're making me sound like.
No, it was a joint idea. I just feel very victimised.
Why?
Well, because it's not very nice, is it? To be honest.
And what you wanted to do was so much better?
Well, no. No, it wasn't.
Okay, my know that actually happened comes from coast to coast.
Even more reliable.
Great, he's super reliable. Get really fucked.
I was just trying to be funny.
Okay. It's world's largest Ouija board to be unveiled this weekend.
That's not a good idea.
Which was last weekend, because this is from the 11th. So an organisation dedicated to preserving the history of talking boards, said to communicate with spirits on the other side, will unveil what they say is the world's largest Ouija board at an event on Saturday. It's dubbed Ouijazilla.
Fuck me. Ouijazilla. Couldn't have gone with Mega Ouija.
Mega Ouija.
Mega Ouija. That'd have been much better.
Or just the Ouija.
The Ouija.
The enormous piece was produced by Rick Schreck, Vice President of... I can fucking see you looking at me. Shut up. I know I pronounced that right. The Talking Board Historical Society...
Do you want to try that again?
Vice President of the Talking Board Historical Society over the course of last year as his home in New Jersey. The dimensions of the board have yet to be revealed. The group says it is heavier than an elephant, longer than a brontosaurus.
That is a very strange measuring system that they've got there.
It is, yeah.
Like, heavier than... Because, that's just very, very strange.
And it could comfortably fit 5 full-sized 18-wheelers.
Again, that's a very, very strange measuring system.
Well, if someone said 50 feet, you'd be like, oh, well, how big is that? But if it's bigger than a brontosaurus, you know it's fucking big. Like.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
See?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
The massive wooden construction is also said to be 2.5 times bigger than the current record holder for the world's largest Ouija board.
Why is there a record for that?
There's a record for everything. Jennifer Aniston just got the world record for the quickest the quickest to 1 million followers on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, she got it in like a couple of hours or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, her first photo was her and the rest of the Friends cast. I'm also following her now.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah. So the Ouija board was revealed to the public on Saturday at an event in Salem.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah, and fully operational.
I'm sure it is. None of that seems like a good idea to me.
I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah, but you're a bit weird.
No.
No?
Okay, on to the episode.
Yes, on to the episode. What is the episode, Laura? Enlighten us.
Dybbuk Boxes. It's really popular on the YouTubes at the moment.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. We started watching them a while ago.
We did.
We went down a bit of a rabbit hole.
Fucking hell. Did we? Christ on a bike.
It was, we ended up watching like a fucking ton of them.
All for research purposes, of course.
Yeah, but they're really interesting. Some of them's complete fucking bullshit.
Oh yeah, some of them are just laughable. But we can cover that later, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go into the history of Dybbuks and how Dybbuk boxes are kind of
what they are
and stuff.
Because I'd never heard until we found it on YouTube, and you're like, shit, that's a Dybbuk box, and I looked at you like, the fuck's a Dybbuk box? Basically, is how the conversation went.
Yeah. So what is a Dybbuk? A Dybbuk is a malicious spirit in Jewish or Kabbalistic folklore. They just love to possess people.
Don't all spirits love to possess people?
These ones in particular.
Oh, they've got a bit of a thing for it, have they?
That's their thing.
Oh.
And they're believed to be the soul of a dead person, so they're not supposed to be a demon.
Mm.
They're believed to be the soul of a dead person who's kind of got unfinished business.
Is it the same kind of thing as a jinn?
Jinn is someone who has died in a very horrific way, I think.
Okay.
I think. And the Dybbuks don't leave the host body until their goal is accomplished. Usually, it's to fuck shit up and cause as much distress to the host as possible.
It's like, that's kind of possession 101 though, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. It's interesting because when you see, like, you can buy Dybbuk boxes like on eBay and shit.
Yeah.
When you see that, they're all like, oh, demon box, you know, this box holds a upper level demon or some shit like that.
Yeah, you just know it's, no. Someone's not done their homework.
Yeah, because a Dybbuk is not a demon.
Yeah.
It's
a pissed off spirit.
It's the soul of a person.
Yeah.
So if you want to buy one, don't go for one that says it's a demon, because it's probably bullshit.
Or do, if you want to buy one and be hardcore, say you've got a Dybbuk box but don't actually want to be haunted by anything.
Yeah,
So,
you can do that.
There's that as well. It's like a fake Dybbuk box.
Yeah, if you want to do it for the aesthetic.
Yeah, it's the same as the person walking around with the Sons of Anarchy vest on but doesn't actually own a motorcycle.
I think that's fine.
It's not fine.
I think it's fine.
It's not fine.
Why not?
It's just not.
Why?
It's not.
Why?
It's because it's for the aesthetic.
So?
Anyway.
So when I was doing this research, I fell down a bit of a rabbit hole. Started on Wikipedia as usual, and then kind of branched off. And I found myself on a website called The Jewish Chronicle. Yeah.
I think we've been there before, actually.
I don't think so. We haven't really covered anything.
I'm sure there was a reason we've been there before.
No.
It sounds familiar. Continue.
Yeah. No, I'm not clued up on Judaism at all, really. So anything I say, if it's not correct, correct me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not 100% sure. All I'm saying is what I've read.
Yeah.
Which is what we always do.
Yeah. Yeah, we know nothing.
The Jewish Chronicle, it has a very, very descriptive way of dealing with Dybbuk spirits. They say that before the advent of modern medicine, in Kabbalistic folklore, mental illness was seen as being caused by demonic spirits taking control of the person's body. So, demonic spirits, evil spirits.
Yeah. The Christianity was a lot the same, though, wasn't it? You were possessed by the devil if you were having a bit of a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, they use the term possessed by the devil as kind of like an umbrella term.
Yeah.
Almost to kind of cover everything.
Yeah, but this is quite specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dybbuks come from Sitra Ahara, A-H-R-A.
Okay.
Which is their term for the other side or the opposite of the divine world.
The upside down.
Hell.
Oh, okay. Hell, fair enough.
Yeah. The Jewish chronicles say that Dybbuks are more likely to attack women.
Is there a reason for that?
Because allegedly they come in the form of a male.
Okay.
Apparently Dybbuks are mostly male. And they sexually assault her, apparently.
Oh, lovely.
They sexually assault the women. Now, this kind of goes against what is said to be attached to Dybbuk boxes now.
Yeah.
It doesn't really seem that way at all. So I think the terms have kind of changed since the word Dybbuk was invented.
Yeah, it's one of those folklore things, though, isn't it? Like, it gets changed and passed down and altered as people tell the stories. And
yeah, pretty much. And I think that's what happened here.
Yeah, people tell stories for an agenda sometimes, so
yeah,
like that can change things as well.
But the Jewish Chronicle have a way to put this, which is quite poetic and scary, like kind of at the same time. Quote, male and female, living and dead, pure and impure, all fused together in one human body. Exorcising a Dybbuk, removing the destructive forces from a pure soul, is not just an imperative to save a person who has been possessed, it is a battle in a cosmic war. End quote.
That's very terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, they're not mincing their words there, are they?
No, like that, like it seems like they took it very seriously.
Yeah.
Like back in
the day.
Back in the day. But one thing I did find which made me question the kind of view of the person writing this article, they compared, do you know the witch burnings from the 16th to 18th century?
Mm-hmm.
They compared that to the Dybbuks.
Okay.
And the possession of the Dybbuks.
Okay.
Making people think they were witches and all that kind of stuff. Which was around the same time where the Dybbuk hype started.
Yeah.
Where everyone kind of was scared of Dybbuks. All Jewish people were scared of them. And during this time, it's hard to say, but anywhere from 80,000 to 300,000 men and women were burned at the stake for being witches.
Jesus.
So the Jewish Chronicle kind of correlate these two, thinking there's some kind of
connection between the rise of the Dybbuk and witch burnings.
Yeah, they kind of think that, but like if you strain a little bit now, if you go into the witch burnings, it wasn't even people who were even remotely close to being mentally ill. No,
it was just people who the church didn't like.
Pretty much, yeah. So that's what makes me, question.
Yeah, and the thing as well, that was like the 16 and the 15 and 1600s was like the OG satanic panic, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like, people were terrified of getting demons all up in their shit everywhere.
Pretty much. So this is a long quote now, but I couldn't.
Go for it.
I could not make it more concise. This is how the Jewish Chronicle detail how to exorcise a Dybbuk.
Oh, I've read this.
It's fucked.
Oh, this is gnarly.
It's fucked up.
Go for it.
I just can't put it in better words, so I'm just going to fucking read the whole thing. I'm going to read the whole thing. Quote, a dramatic, terrifying ritual was required to force the reluctant spirit out of the body in which it was squatting. The ceremony was conducted in the synagogue in the presence of 10 men who had purified themselves through fasting and ritual immersion. They would all dress in white shrouds in which a corpse is buried, wreathed in prayer shawls, their heads and arms bound with the sacred parchments worn in daily prayer. The exorcist would address the Dybbuk directly, listing the offences that the soul had committed during its human life, which might include apostasy, yeah?
I think so.
Tale-bearing, suicide, murder, or ritually deviant conduct. The exorcist would both cajole and threaten the Dybbuk. With the Dybbuk fully cognizant of the trouble it was in, and the appeal to its better nature concluded, the ark in the synagogue containing the scrolls of the Torah were opened. 7 scrolls were removed, 7 blasts were blown on 7 rams' horns, and 7 black candles lit. Curses were proclaimed, incantations recited, and 7 different combinations of the 42-letter name of God pronounced. The Safed, Kabbalistic, Hayim Vital recorded instructions received from his teacher, Isaac Luria, for expelling a Dybbuk. It was imperative that the exorcist remain strong-hearted, displaying no fear. The spirit was to leave the body only between the big toe and its nail. Any other exit route might cause permanent damage to the possessed person. Crucially, the spirit was to be warned with threats and imprecations against entering anybody else. There is no place for the world of the dead in the abode of the living. End quote.
That's fucked up.
They take that shit seriously.
That is pretty damn serious.
Yeah, and it was on the Jewish Chronicle, but it was an excerpt from a book by Harry Friedman, Kabbalah, Sorcery, Scandal, and the Soul.
Like that was a hardcore ritual.
Yeah, like it's, I don't know, that's like black magic kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's very, very. It feels very almost pagan, doesn't it?
Well, like if you're going from pagan rituals, they're very precise in what has to be done. Like if you look at way back in the Vikings where they were doing their blots and stuff, they had to wear certain colours, do certain things. That's the definition of a ritual.
Yeah.
And this is the definition of a ritual.
Yeah, that was,
wearing certain things, doing certain things, saying
blast, sacred numbers. It's all very fucking...
Yeah.
It's... Oh. And leaving through the big toe. That's weird.
Well, if you think about it, if they leave, like, through the mouth, they could rip your mouth open or some shit. Like, you know, you can lose a big toe, like, and it wouldn't matter too much.
Totally off topic. But when I was living in the UK, I used to do Aikido, sort of defensive martial art. When I was doing that, it was one of the instructor was always really anal about having people's toenails cut really short.
Yeah.
Because one of the things in Aikido is that all the bad energy and the toxins leave your body through the feet. So if you had to scratch someone with your feet, then it could enter them.
Shit.
So it's just something that made me think then, because he was always really, really precise about how you had to have really short toenails.
Yeah.
Because if you were to scratch somebody or hurt them in some way with your toenails, then, in his words, all the bad energy and the infections and everything come out, and toxins come out through your feet.
Shit.
So...
That's crazy.
So maybe it's a more common thing.
Maybe.
Bad energy and bad sort of things come out through your feet. I mean, it makes sense because it's coming from top to bottom, isn't it?
Yeah, everything's kind of going down.
So, there you go.
So yeah, after that, the word Dybbuk kind of died down for a bit. Possibly for fear of burning at the stake, if we were to go by what the Jewish Chronicle said earlier.
Yeah, no one really wants to get burnt at the stake.
No. And it wasn't until 1920 where S. Ansky, he wrote a play called The Dybbuk. He was a Russian playwright.
Okay.
And it premiered in 1922, which sparked up fears again for a while, because the play was about a young woman who gets possessed by a malicious spirit. So S. Ansky, he did his research.
Yeah, he did his homework.
Yeah. So we're going to jump to modern day, and Jewish rabbis now, they're very quick to dismiss anything about Dybbuks.
It's like exorcism, though, in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
No one wants to dirty their hands with that kind of stuff.
But, I like it. Like, there's a forum kind of place where you can ask a rabbi.
Yeah.
And I was browsing there.
Yeah.
And there was a guy, and he was like, I think I'm possessed by a Dybbuk.
Yeah.
How can I help? Someone help me. And the rabbi was like, you're not possessed by a Dybbuk. I suggest you go see a mental health professional.
I mean, that's good. That's a sign of the times moving on, isn't it?
It is. But there's one particular rabbi, and his name's Rav Batsri. He's a rabbi from Jerusalem. And in 2009, he attempted to conduct an exorcism through Skype to a boy in Brazil.
Through Skype?
Through Skype. Needless to say, it failed, so he flew the boy out to Jerusalem and attempted it in person. I think it was successful, but this guy was also tried for induction or something like that.
Ooh.
Basically, he did a load of protests and acted a bit culty.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the story is, whether he's in jail now or not, but they take no shit in Jerusalem for that kind of stuff.
No.
But since then, the Jewish online community don't seem to want to associate with Dybbuks at all, really.
It's very strange. I wonder if that's through maybe like a don't show, don't tell thing. Like they just don't want to admit that it could be a thing.
Or maybe
they're just trying to distance themselves from the idea of it.
Or maybe it's like, what I think it is, it's more like, like you said, the Catholics and being possessed by the devil and stuff. It's just not something that's spoke about now. Like, no. It's not really a thing.
No, because when the, like, I'm going back to the sort of 1600s OG satanic panic thing going on, which is a term I've just decided myself. So that's what it's called now.
We'll copyright that later.
Absolutely. TM. When it was back in those times, like, people just didn't understand the kind of things that we understand now.
Absolutely.
So if you were having someone saying with her in the middle of an epileptic fit, for example, in those times that was a straight up demon possession. Like, shit son, you got a demon in you.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's shit son, get him to the hospital, he's got epilepsy.
And
it just changes.
But like, even if I think it went from mental illness not being a thing to mental illness being so much of a thing that anything you do was considered as mental illness. Yeah. And they'd send you off to the asylum.
Yeah, and then that's the other flip of it as well.
And now it's kind of
balancing back out again.
Yeah.
You know, you could warrant yourself in the asylum for
fucking masturbation.
Yeah, like that actually happened to people.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And So I think people just want to distance themselves from this idea of possession because it's got such a bad history with people being wrongly imprisoned and being essentially tortured, which is what a lot of these rituals are. It's essentially torture.
Like, if someone wasn't possessed, say if they were actually mentally ill, they're doing the rabbis or the priests or whatever you want to do, the people conducting the exorcism are playing with the person's senses so much.
That's going to send them into an overload, isn't it?
It is, of course it is. And then if they were prone to having fits, they'd have fits. And then the priest would be like, oh, he's gone now. Like... Yeah, it's a sign of the times that it's gotten popular at one point in history, and then it's now no one really wants to mention it. Yeah, unless, like there is still people who would do exorcisms, but I think in order to have an exorcism, it has to be no other explanation. Yeah, like I know now to get an exorcism from a Catholic priest, I think the order's got to come from the Pope himself. I think it's got to be signed off by the Pope. Maybe not the Pope himself, maybe not the Pope, but the Vatican. Like, it's got to come from the Vatican. It's got to go from the priest to the Archbishop, from the Archbishop... from the Archbishop to the Vatican, and then the Vatican decides whether it's going to do it or not. Yeah. And I think the Vatican sends someone to do it. I think so, I'm not sure. Like, it's changed so much now that... Because they just don't want to be putting people who are ill through that. And with good reason as well. It's something that I like, to be honest. Yeah, like... It's no secret that we're not fond of the church. No. But that's something that they're doing right. Yeah, they are. They are moving with the times in that respect. Yeah, so absolutely. So that's my history on it. Okay. So, having said all that, there have been a couple of cases where people have had so-called Dybbuk boxes. Like, the Dybbuks that we were talking about, they're old school. Yeah. Dybbuk boxes are fairly modern thing. Yeah, it's a relatively new thing. In the sort of past 100 years or so, in that kind of sense of new. I'd even go to say a lot sooner. Well, I mean, I'm only going from when that one was supposedly created. Yeah, so, but the term is a very, very new thing. Yeah. And, like we said earlier, a lot of it's crap. Essentially, the Dybbuk box is the box that holds this spirit in place. Yeah. So, you can imagine that there's a lot of bullshit around. Yeah. Having said all that, there are some accounts of genuinely unexplainable things happening around some of these boxes. Yes. And it's very fucking bizarre. Very, very bizarre. It's the kind of stuff that sends chills. Yeah. Proper chills. Not number 4, that kind of chills. No. Number 4. Number 4. I can't do it as well. But not that kind of chills. No tea, no shade. Actual genuine chills. Yeah. So, I'm going to talk about one, and it's, I'd say, the most famous Dybbuk box, would you say? It was the first. The first and, like, the original sort of Dybbuk box, really. Yeah, the OG Dybbuk box. The OG Dybbuk box. So, buckle in, kids. It's time to get funky. You sound like an old granddad. Hi, we've met. I'm nearly 30. Thank you for that. I drive an old man's car in air quotes. You know, I'm nearly there. Right. Get on with your fucking story. Okay, so, like I said, one of the sort of most infamous of these, quotes, Dybbuk boxes, it was a case of a wine box. Now, it's now owned by paranormal investigator, reality TV host, museum curator, and I'm told general asshole, Zach Baggins. Baggins, Brannigan, whatever his fucking name is. Bilbo Baggins. Your man from Ghost Adventures, anyway. Okay, him. He owns it. It's in his museum in Las Vegas, which he wouldn't open especially for us. Just saying. Yeah, I emailed him, and I was like, yo, can we get into the museum, you know? And it turns out they're closed on the only day that we're there, so fuck you. Boo to him. But it originally appeared on eBay in 2001. Not long after eBay started, Not long after eBay started, like the old school eBay days. Yeah. And the seller was a bloke called Kevin Manus. Who I tried to reach out to. Yeah. I found him online, and I tried to reach out to him to ask if he had anything else to say other than like what's been covered in the media, and if any part of the story was sensationalized by people or anything like that. But he didn't get back to me, so we're just going by what's online. Yeah, that's all we can go. So, the story is that Kevin first came across this box when he was working... He had an antique store. Mm-hmm. And there was a woman in Portland
her grandmother her great-grandmother, had just died, and she was 103.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like an estate clearance. And in this estate clearance, there was this wine box, a sewing kit, and a big fucking casket. Not a casket, sorry, a case, what's the word?
Like a suitcase?
No, like Ottoman type, big fucking box, basically.
So an ottoman?
Yeah, kind of like an ottoman, but it's not the right word. Basically. And her story is quite tragic. She was born in Poland when the Nazis came. Her and her entire family were put in a concentration camp. And she was the only one of her husband, her parents, her brothers, a sister, and 2 sons and a daughter to survive.
That's fucking tragic.
So it's absolutely horrific that happened. And she was the only one who survived. She emigrated to Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Where she picked up this wine box and these other bits and pieces, and then she emigrated to the US.
Uh-huh.
And the only 3 possessions she had with her was this wine box, the sewing kit, and this other box.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The wine box is the important part. So Kevin Manus has bought this estate clearance from her great-granddaughter, and as she's telling him the story of everything, he's like, well, no, do you want this wine box back? Obviously saying it's got sentimental value.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, absolutely not. Don't want it back. And he's like, well, no, I keep the money. It's not, I just want to give you it back as a nice thing. And she gets hysterical at him, crying and practically screaming at him that the quote is, you bought it, you made a deal.
Oh, so she knew.
Yeah. And
sneaky bitch.
yeah, she knew, because she'd actually told him that her grandmother had always kept it hidden, always out of sight, and had told her great-granddaughter, that under no circumstances should it be opened. So
what the fuck does he to go do?
Wait. So he's trying to give her this box back out of just being a nice gesture, and she's having none of it.
Yeah.
She's telling him she's leaving, and this is done. That's your problem now, mate. See you later. Basically. So Kevin doesn't think anything of it. Weird, okay. He takes it to his furniture shop, leaves it in the basement. He's got this idea of what he's going to do with it, and he just shoots off into town to do a few bits and pieces. He gets a phone call from his saleswoman. She's hysterical on the phone that someone's in the shop swearing and smashing things and generally being a bit of an asshole.
So his antique shop?
His antique shop.
Okay.
Someone's in there, and she's also said that someone has locked the iron gates and she can't get out.
Oh.
So she's trapped in the shop with whoever that is, and at that point Kevin's phone died.
Ah.
So he hauls ass back to the shop thinking that she's in genuine trouble, opens the locked gates. He finds her in the front desk, in the front office, really shaken up, not having a good time.
Yeah.
And she's in the basement. When he gets into the basement, he finds that all 9 of the normal light bulbs have been broken.
Broken, smashed?
Yeah, smashed. Oh. And the big fluorescent tubes,
yeah,
they're all smashed and broken up as well. Gone. There's a really strong smell of cat urine in the air. So he's
Where have I heard that?
What, the cat urine's a thing?
No, but I've heard somewhere that they smelt cat urine. It wasn't a Dybbuk box. It was nothing to do with the Dybbuk box. I'll think of it.
Okay.
I'll think of it.
Okay. But anyway, so that's what he smells down in the basement. So he comes up to try and talk to the woman. She's having none of it. She just leaves. She's up. She's gone already before he gets back.
You can't fucking blame her.
She's out of there. And to this day, I've heard that she still refuses to talk about it. Just having none of that shit. Okay? So Kevin's plan with this box was to refinish it, do it up and give it to a present to his mum. Okay?
Upcycle it, kind of.
Yeah, basically, he's going to upcycle it, and when he starts investigating the box, he opens it up and he finds that there's a mechanism that when you open one door, it opens everything.
Okay.
So it opens the other door and it opens the drawers. This thing's really well made, basically.
Yeah.
And inside, he found one 1928 US wheat penny, one 1925 US wheat penny, one small lock of blonde hair bound with a string, one small lock of black brown hair bound with a string, one small granite statue engraved and gilded with Hebrew letters, which I'm told are Shalom. I'm not clued up on this either myself, but that's what I'm told the Hebrew letters are.
Yeah.
One dried rosebud, one golden wine cup, and one very strange cast iron candlestick holder with octopus legs. Weird contents.
Very eclectic.
Yeah, it's strange. He decided not to refinish the box in the end. He was just going to clean it up and give it as a present because it was already in good condition. It just needed a clean. So his mother comes to the shop and he gives her the box, and he had to disappear off to make a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. During this phone call, so not even within 5 minutes, an employee comes to him saying there's something wrong with his mother. He returned to his mother, and he found her sitting in a chair, expressionless, crying, and totally unresponsive. She's rushed to the hospital, and it turns out she's had a stroke and lost her ability to speak, as well as, I think it was 80% of her eyesight.
Oh, yeah, I think it was that.
So, not nice. During this time, she could only speak using one of those spell boards, where you point to the letters and those kind of things. So, he asked her how she was doing, and she spelled out, no gift. When he said he'd given her a gift, she emphasised, hate gift. Okay? And then,
fucking hate it.
Yeah. Later in the interview.
Yeah.
Kevin said that his mother, when she opened the box, she described a rushing sensation of pure evil.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she later died.
Yeah.
So family man Kevin gives then the box to his sister, who gave it back after a week. Then gave it back to his brother, who gave it back after 3 days, saying it smelled like jasmine flowers and just didn't really like it.
Okay.
His wife also said it smelled of cat urine.
Okay.
Right? Kevin then gave it to his girlfriend, who soon asked him to sell it. So he sold it to a middle-aged couple, and 3 days later he found the box sitting on the front of his shop with a note saying, "This has a bad darkness."
Ooh.
So no one's having a good time at the moment. So after trying and failing to get rid of the box, he takes it home, and he says he began to have chilling nightmares, and this is a quote. Quote, "I find myself walking with a friend, usually someone I know well and trust at some point in the dream. I find myself looking into the eyes of the person that I am with, and it is then I realise that there is something different, something evil looking back at me. At this point in the dream, the person I am with changes into what can only be described as the most gruesome, demonic-looking hag that I have ever seen. This hag then proceeds to beat the living tar out of me." A recurring dream, nearly every night.
That's unsettling.
Very unsettling. On speaking to his family, they've also had the same dream when they've had the box. Yeah.
Burn it.
Yeah.
I'd burn it and I'd leave the country.
Yeah. He's also saying that while he's had the box, he's had, shadowy figures looming around. He's had the sensation of being touched and grabbed and cold spots. And,
normal stuff.
Yeah,
then.
your general haunting.
Yeah.
And he's always had this smell of cat urine around. When he swears blind, he's never owned a cat.
Okay.
So he decides to put it on eBay at this point.
Yeah.
So this is 2001. Hoping someone knew more about it than him would take it off his hands.
Yeah.
Okay. It didn't sell for 2 years until 2003, when a student of the University of Missouri called Losif Nigitz, I have butchered that, and I'm so sorry.
Show me. Losif Nitska.
Nitska, that'll do. Losif Nitska. Mr. Nitska then put it back on eBay for sale 8 months later after his roommates suffered insomnia and illness, including Mr. Nitska's hair falling out in the presence of this box.
Okay.
So this box is a bad fucking apple.
Yeah.
Nitska was able to sell it for $280 to a Jason Haxton, who heard about it from a student who was also one of Nitska's roommates. Okay?
That's a lot of money for a haunted box.
You wouldn't catch me paying 80 cents for a haunted box. Get fucked. Mr. Haxton also claims to have experienced paranormal activity in the presence of the box, though he's also saying it has an anti-aging effect on him. He claims that he has experienced welts and hives when he first touched the box, and even experienced coughing up blood and choking, and sort of waking up with his eyes bleeding and, nausea and vomiting and things like that.
They say that's a sign.
Well, it sounds more like radiation poisoning to me, if I'm honest. But
didn't he say that was like a running theme of the box? People tend to lose their eyesight.
People have a bad time around this box.
Yeah.
He says that he's also had strange shadows and lights and things while he's been around this box. He's attempted a numerous way of storing it. He's had it in a wooden ark, acacia wood ark, lined with 24 karat gold. That obviously didn't work. So he then tried putting it in a military-grade shot-proof container and burying it somewhere in his garden.
Fantastic.
And it's at that point where Mr. Zach Baggins... whatever. That guy. Zach Bagans acquired the box, which I'm told he bought for $10,000.
That asshole has a lot of money, he can fucking pay it.
There you go. That's the story so far of this particular box.
Okay, so Zach Bagans...
Yeah, whatever.
He acquired the Dybbuk box after the current owner. So, what was his name?
His name, Jason Haxton.
That was him. He brought it to Zach.
Yeah.
Saying that it helped contribute to his mother's death.
Okay, then.
Yeah. So the box was also said to make the current owner's eyes bleed and contribute to sight loss. So, like I said.
Again, running theme.
Kevin Mannis comes on the episode to talk about it. Like, they did a special episode. I think it was Ghost Adventures Artifacts or something like this.
Yeah.
Season 1, episode 1, if you want to watch it. I don't particularly like Zach Bagans, and I think he's full of shit.
You might have noticed.
Like, I think he's full of shit. He treats the people around him like shit. I just don't have much respect for him at all. Zach and Kevin kind of talk for a while. Just Kevin running over his story that you've already said.
Yeah.
But Zach had put the Dybbuk box, in his basement isolation chamber. And asked if Kevin would go down and see the box.
Yeah.
Kevin kind of agreed, which...
He didn't really want to, though, did he?
I don't know.
Like, he seemed a bit apprehensive about it.
He did a bit. But he eventually agreed.
Yeah.
So he goes down, and Zach and his crew, they kind of watch what's going on from their nerve centre, as they like to call it.
Well, you see, that whole setup is like one bad choice away from being some kind of creepy dungeon.
Yeah,
Like.
exactly, yeah. So Zach gets Kevin to bring down a trigger object, which is something that belonged to the family who built the box.
Yeah.
So I assume it's something that he got from the estate sale or
probably.
something like that. So Kevin goes into the room and he places the trigger object on the box and he opens the box.
Like a fucking G, might I add.
Yeah. And then he closes it after, like he very quickly closes it. But when Kevin opens the box, the lights in the front museum room flicker. Now this episode is being filmed in Zach's haunted museum. And the lights to the chests start flickering on and off the moment he starts opening the box. This is the kind of bit that really freaked me out, and maybe not too, like, I don't know if it's real. But Kevin, he starts to walk around aimlessly, just kind of facing the wall. He kind of said to the crew that they need to come down and he needs to tell them something important, which was kind of strange.
Yeah.
And then after he says that, the crew kind of hear banging.
Yeah.
While he says that. And then Kevin just kind of changes. Like his whole demeanour and stature and just his mannerism starts to change. And then he starts talking in a different voice and a different accent and starts kind of just chanting shit, basically.
It's very poetic rhyming chanting, though, isn't it?
It is.
That's what I took away from it. It was very poetic.
Yeah, and the crew seem to think that he's kind of provoking the box, kind of telling them, look, show them you're haunted, basically.
Yeah, from what I remember, he's talking about something that's like appearing at the end of their bed in the middle of the night and
coming to them in dreams and stuff like that.
It's hard to remember his exact words, but I know it was very, very eloquently put and very poetic.
And his accent turned British.
Yeah.
And very deep, and it was very strange.
It was very bizarre.
And then he stops talking, and the crew kind of hear voices after he finished talking. And then they decide to pull Kevin out of the room. They think, right, he's had enough. Yeah. That's it, he's done. And they send Theodore down to get him, who's the older gentleman who I don't like the way Zach treats him. He's kind of dressed up in a butler's outfit.
Yeah, I don't know if he works there or what his story is.
It was, I don't know, I just found it very derogatory.
Yeah, I didn't like that really either. But then it's probably for the camera, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all for the camera.
Yeah.
Kevin says that while he was in there, the furnaces were emitting kind of misty manifestations.
Yeah.
And now the furnaces were behind the camera.
Yeah.
That Zach and his crew were watching on, so they couldn't see the furnace. So that's maybe why they didn't see it. Zach asked Kevin about the voices that they hear after he stops talking, and Kevin says he does not hear them.
Yeah.
And that's that. And then the Dybbuk box stayed at Zach's museum.
It's still there.
Still is. What I don't like is Zach used that Dybbuk box for fame.
Yeah.
I think it was either, it wasn't long ago, can't have been longer than a year ago. He was saying he was going to open it on a live stream.
Did. No, he did. He was going to say he was going to open it on a live stream, and he didn't manage to open it, I think.
No, he backed out of opening it.
Did he back out of opening it?
He backed out of opening it after thousands, if not millions, of people tuned in.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what to make of that, but I don't know if that's just because I really don't like Zach and I don't trust him. I don't trust Ghost Adventures. I don't trust anything. I don't know.
Fair. It's a healthy skepticism to have in this field, really.
I think the more views a show gets, the less credibility it has.
Yeah.
There's way more room for
messing
around, sensationalism, and if they were gonna, do a hoax, they have a
full live TV studio to do it.
Yeah. That's why I prefer to watch smaller YouTube channels.
Yeah.
I think they're more accurate representations.
Yeah. The trouble with this is weird things did happen.
But the way I see it is, yeah, those weird things did happen, but they didn't make a big deal about it. Like, that's huge evidence.
Yeah.
What's been happening. And they just passed it off like it was, day to day. Like, surely paranormal investigators, they want to prove what they've seen or disprove.
Yeah.
They should have been in there either debunking or trying to prove it.
Yeah.
And they weren't.
No.
And that's what makes them lose their credibility to me.
Yeah. So it's hard to say whether that particular box is as bad as everyone says it is.
Yeah.
Without getting near it. But at the same time, I don't really want to get near it just for...
Well, we won't get near it because he won't let us into this fucking museum.
Well, no, that's true. But even then, just looking at the thing...
Yeah.
I don't get a good vibe from it.
No. But I do think a lot of it is sensationalised.
It's entirely possible that a lot of it is sensationalised. I won't trust Ghost Adventurers either.
No, I don't, and that's why we don't watch them.
But there you go. I mean...
But it was a big part of the story. That was how that story ended.
Yeah.
So we needed to include it.
We did need to include it. And the interview he did have with Kevin Mannis and what happened to Kevin in the room was fucking spooky.
Yeah.
The way he changed like that was very, very bizarre.
Yeah.
And I know that it could have been scripted, it could have been this, it could have been that, whichever. It doesn't change the fact that it was a very, very strange feeling watching it.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Like we said, YouTube and the internet ruins everything.
It can go either way. It can ruin it or it can make things so much better.
Yeah. But with stuff like the paranormal, it tends to ruin everything. So there's been a recent explosion of Dybbuk boxes for sale and Dybbuk box openings on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a fair thing to say that 99% of this is a load of shit.
It's a load of bullshit.
It's a load of crap. We've been, as we did our extensive research, we're not the only ones in this sort of area looking into this ourselves. There's been a couple of the more sort of respected channels looking into it as well.
Yeah, Dark Arts Paranormal I really liked.
Yeah, he did one. Was his one a live one? I'm saying live like it was a fucking cursed thing.
Him and Exploring with Fighters did a live one. I didn't want to watch it because we don't really trust Dan from Exploring with Fighters that much.
No, because he's full of shit too.
Yeah.
And he's got to get one of his team killed one of these days.
But that's a whole other story.
That's tea for another day.
Yeah, but they, Dark Arts Paranormal, they did an opening in a haunted house or something at 3 a.m. and not much happened. Which is why I like his videos, because if nothing happens, nothing happens.
Yeah, it doesn't get altered. What's the one with fucking 90s, early 2001 guy? You know the one I mean.
Oh, the Paranormal Files. The
Paranormal Files, they did an opening as well.
Yeah, they bought 3 of them.
They bought 3, and I think this was fantastic, because they bought 3 of them from 3 separate sellers.
Yeah.
And they were all following the same kind of copying off the original Dybbuk box.
Yeah.
And when they opened them up, they were finding shit in them that was nothing to do with Judaism.
Yeah.
Which is a big fucking telltale. And like you said, it's got a higher demon in it or a lower or whatever. That's nothing to do with what a Dybbuk is.
Exactly.
So there is a lot of shit around there. That fucking idiot that we watched the other day with the ridiculous hair.
Oh, I don't even know what he was.
He was just a frustratingly clickbaity YouTuber.
Yeah.
With no imagination after that sweet, sweet coin.
Yeah.
Basically.
Pretty much.
And that's the sad thing that this has become now.
Yeah.
It's hard to find anything credible about it.
You have to really dig deep, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I prefer smaller YouTubers because they tend to be, I find anyway, a lot more credible.
Yeah.
Like, you'll still get the ones like Proven Demons or something like that.
Bone and all. You thought we'd forgotten, but we hadn't.
No. But channels like Proven Demons, that's a small channel. They're still full of shit, if you ask me.
Basically,
like,
full of shit. Shade. However, there's been a couple that do seem genuine.
And the one you're going to talk about has me shook.
Fucking freaky. Like, and we stumbled on this almost by accident.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a channel we were looking out for or anything.
No.
So, it was Mindsea TV. Okay? Mindsea TV is a tech review and horror channel. It explores haunted locations, orders things he shouldn't do from the dark web.
But I think before this Dybbuk box, he was more of a tech channel.
He was, I'd say so, yeah.
With the occasional
like
paranormal thing.
It wasn't even paranormal, it was like he'd occasionally explore a haunted place. He was more getting things off the dark web.
Yeah.
And opening them up. That was more of his thing.
Yeah.
He does generally things that aren't good ideas.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But he started as a tech channel.
Yes. And in the assistant, the host is called Casey Nolan. Mm-hmm. So he ordered a Dybbuk box to open during a video. And when he got it, it was a fairly standard brown box, covered in wax. The usual bullshit Dybbuk box that you get from eBay. Yeah. Like, there was no sort of mark, because some of them have markings on them and fucking all sorts of shite.
Yeah.
Like, this one was just covered in wax. So, Casey kind of is credible. I'd say he's credible. So
I'd say he's credible.
He aims to disprove things. So he's got one of those EMF detectors. Mm-hmm. So he's EMFing around the box, and it's silent until he gets to the back.
Yeah.
He puts the EMF detector at the back of the box, and the thing lights up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah. Now
you can see by the look on his face, because he's filming all this, and he's like,
and the thing is, like, he has two cameras.
Yeah.
One that's pointing to him, and he has a GoPro strapped to his head. So you've got more than one point of view on this.
Yeah. And his look is just kind of like, oh. Well.
It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, so, and then he tries to disprove it himself. He tries checking around him to make sure it's not a camera that he's picking up, or he moves the box away from the EMF meter, then back again to show it is actually the box that's setting the EMF meter off. Mm-hmm. And then he had got one of those spirit box things.
Yeah.
And I'm in two minds about these spirit boxes myself, because
I think they're good.
Yeah, like,
I believe them.
I think sometimes you hear what you want to hear off of them.
But that's why, like, I don't trust when, say, people do spirit boxes and then they put what was said underneath.
Yeah.
It's like it's priming you for what they want you to hear.
Yeah. So if you're not sure, a spirit box is a small black device that cycles through radio channels very quickly.
Yeah.
And the idea is the spirit can use its energy to manifest a word or something that comes in through the radio channels.
Uh-huh.
So he sets this up next to it, and I couldn't really hear anything but static in the channels cycling. But Casey claims that he got hits like "Let Me Out" and things like that. But I can't say if I heard that or not, because I didn't.
But what he did say was he was doing it for a while.
Yeah.
And he just cut it all out because there wasn't anything of worth there.
So, fair enough. So then he opened the box like an idiot, and as soon as he broke the seal on the wax and opened it, the EMF stopped reading.
Yeah, because he kept it where it was flashing the whole time.
And literally as soon as he broke the seal and lifted it, the EMF just went dead.
Not dead, it just stopped flashing.
It stopped. And inside he just found a large crystal and a really bad smell.
Yeah.
Basically. Now, again, you could argue that maybe the EMF device was tampered with, or what and who, and it's... You know,
like with things like this, you kind of have to trust the person or you don't.
Yeah, and he'd shown us the EMF device working on his microwave and his cameras and stuff like, so it was working. Yeah. So, and his idea for opening the box, it was to see what, because he thought it was something electronic. That could be in there that was setting the EMF off. Yeah. That's what he was after opening it for. So, you know, anyway. However, not long after opening it, the shot of the room he's in, you can see his YouTube 100,000 subscriber award on the wall, the silver thing. And as he's, fucking around with it, you can see the frame starting to shake. Yeah. Like, and he sort of looks around and goes, what the fuck's that?
Yeah.
And investigates it a little bit, comes back, sits back down, and then the thing just throws itself off the wall.
No, it kind of wiggles for a bit more.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it wiggles a bit and then it throws itself off the wall.
Yeah, and it just crashes down to the floor.
And you can see it in his face. He's like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
I think his words were, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
Basically. And he leaves. He just takes everything and visibly shaken and just goes. He leaves everything turned on. That's it. He's gone.
Yeah.
In the next video, he sort of documents a week of weird shit happening.
Yeah.
Like, the first thing he shows is that his studio lights have started turning themselves on.
And it's really creepy because they're red studio lights.
Yeah, they're red studio lights, which is weird in itself.
Yeah.
But if you can watch in the shot that it's taken of the house, there's like a black shape that's moving in and out in front of the lights and stuff.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Really bizarre. His TV starts malfunctioning, and he says it's a weird way that the TV stops working. He says it's never done that before, and he gets the idea, like the sort of notion that whatever's doing it wants him to be alone in the darkness.
Yeah.
He's got a little dog, and the dog starts growling at things and that's not there and stuff. And then he says the next day he had to rush the dog to the vet's because the dog's face had swollen up, with the vet telling him that it had been stung by a bee in the house at the middle of the night. Like, it's...
Yeah.
Again, it's strange. He gets... The next clip is it's himself and his video in his bathroom door. Was it closing, isn't it?
Closing, yeah.
The video of the bathroom door closing by itself. And at this point, he's done. He's had enough.
Yeah.
He's leaving. Again, more lights turning himself on and off. As he's deciding to leave, he's rushing down into his kitchen. And as you look into the kitchen, you see all his kitchen cabinets open.
Wide open, like not even
a little bit. They are all wide open.
Wide fucking open.
And like the last thing that you see as he's deciding to leave is that there's a wine glass on his island, and on camera, the wine glass slides off the island and falls to the floor.
Yeah.
And he is just like, "Fuck this, I'm gone.
Fuck this."
Done." And it's that with the cameras glitching out all the time, and there's little audio glitches you can hear in the video and stuff. I mean, it could either be clever editing and a really elaborate hoax, or not. I mean, if it is fake, he's a really good actor. Like, he's wasted on YouTube because he should be an actor.
Yeah, and there would have been so much effort gone into making that fake.
Yeah.
That I don't know, that's the one where I would be like, that's real.
Yeah. Yeah. And we did try and contact Casey as well, but he's not, as of yet, not got back to us.
No, he hasn't got back to us. But I did only message him yesterday.
Yeah, so who knows? Maybe we can add more to this story.
Maybe.
So that's what I've got.
That's the end of the episode.
It is.
I don't think I can live in a world where these things exist.
What you were talking about? You wanted to buy one yesterday.
Only to see if it was real.
Yeah, no.
You know, when we move into our new house, I'm buying one.
You're not.
And you can't stop me because the house will be half mine.
I don't give a fuck. You can keep it in your side of the house then.
Fine.
Fine. I ain't going in that side of the house.
Fine.
It's fine.
I'll just chase you around the house with it.
Fuck off.
Ooh.
I'll leave. I don't give a fuck. I want none of that kind of bullshit. We have enough negativity in our lives without inviting more in.
It's fine.
None of that is fine.
Stop, Ron.
So, do you think they're a real thing?
I think yes, but I don't think they're as widely available as the whole of YouTube is making it out to be.
Oh, God, no. No, I think, like I said, 99% of those, 99.8% of those are crap.
Complete bullshit.
Utter bollocks.
Yeah.
That people are just cashing in on. And the same with the idiots opening them as well.
Yeah.
They're just cashing in on it.
Like, I don't think you can go on eBay and just buy one.
No.
I think most of them are made by very bored people.
Yeah, who are after making a quick buck.
But I do think these boxes exist. Theoretically, there's no reason why they shouldn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do believe they exist.
So, and I think that Kevin Mannis and Casey were just unlucky enough to actually have got hold of a real one.
Yeah, like, providing everything they say is true,
Providing
obviously.
everything they say is true. We're taking them at their word.
And kind of what we've seen.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I wouldn't risk buying one. To be honest, I genuinely wouldn't risk buying one.
I would. Just for shits and giggles, like.
Not. How is that funny? None of that is funny.
I'm laughing.
I'm not. despairing.
Okay, so
that's it.
I think we're done.
We're done. What do you think?
Yeah, tell us what you think. I want to hear, like, have you had any experiences with them? What do you think of the YouTube trend?
Does the internet ruin everything?
Yeah, like, tell us what you think. So yeah, that's it.
That's us.
And this is the last episode we will be recording until we get back from a honeymoon.
Yeah.
You'll still have the Halloween special next week, next Thursday, at around 10 a.m. our time.
I don't know. Whenever it gets uploaded.
Yeah, it'll be morning time anyway, because
yeah.
we have shit to do that day.
Yeah, we do.
And we need it done before we get out. And then it'll be about 3 weeks until the next one.
Yep.
3 or 4 weeks, because we will be on our honeymoon. But we are planning to vlog our entire thing.
Yeah, that's the thing that's happening.
So yeah, that's the plan.
Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
Because we planned to vlog our trip to Amsterdam.
But that didn't work.
But that didn't work because we woke up an hour and a half late for the flight.
2 hours late.
Was it 2 hours late?
It was 2 hours late.
Yeah, we woke up 2 hours late for the flight.
We still made it,
We
surprisingly.
did. I'm not saying how, but we made it.
So yeah, that's it.
So,
yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, and we will see you when we are married.
Woo!
You can, if you want to chat to us, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Spectral Asylum. We also have merch, which we're rocking today while we're recording.
Today.
That no one can see.
So, I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
And the link will be in the show notes, or you can find it on our social media. I think it's Redbubble that we're on if you just search for our name. And don't forget to leave a review if you liked us.
Or if you didn't.
If you didn't, that's fine. I just really don't feel like hearing negativity today.
Yeah, we don't need any negativity. But, it's fine. Constructive criticism.
Yeah. We do appreciate it. We do read them and stuff.
Yeah.
So, that's it. We will see you all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.